Hey guys, and welcome to episode 10 of Awakening the Italians here with AC Milan. It's the 26th of August 2015, and we've got our first game of the season today at home to Bologna. And this episode is going to be our first kind of pre-season, like proper pre-season review, starting into the second season. And I can tell you, I feel like Harry Redknapp going into the new season. There has been an awful lot of wheeling and dealing in the transfer market, a lot more than I usually would do. But I felt the squad did need a bit of an overhaul. Despite finishing fourth last year, which is decent enough, we've got into the Europa League group stages. That draw is going to happen in 2 days' time in game, the group stage draw there. We're not expected though to get past the group stage. They're not expecting us whatsoever, which I think is a bit odd because I think right now our squad is well capable of getting into the latter rounds of that competition. Maybe not go on and win the thing, but possibly get into maybe the last 16 or something. Last 32 for definite. Anyway, because there is a lot of transfers to go over, I'm going to go straight into it. And I hope you guys are ready because, as you can see, there has been a huge amount. So I'm going to cover the outs really quickly. And the big one, as you can see, is bang on the top, and it's Stefan Ashwari for £46 million to Monaco. Now, not all of this was up front. I think it was around 25 million up front, 21 million over 24 months, though. It wasn't 48 months. So that means the money is just going to come nice and beautifully into our bank accounts for the next 2 years on a monthly clause. And for 46 million, like the guy was a pain in the arse for 4/5, even 5/6 probably of last season. He turned it on in the last quarter, but only to get 11 goals in the season. He was extremely disappointing, and for 46 million, you just can't turn that sort of money down. He kind of wanted to leave. He was making a few hints at wanting to leave, and for when you get that sort of money, you're just not gonna turn it down. These guys, a lot of the free transfers, apart from Michael Essien, there wouldn't be any of the guys you would know, I don't think. Essien has gone to Guingamp over in Liga 1, yeah, over in France. He didn't feature last year. He was on a fairly hefty wage, although he's only on 13 grand a week at Guingamp. But there was no room left for him in the end, so we let go of him. Next man, Michael Agassi for 2.5 million. He was our backup keeper. He's gone because, as you guys know, Nicola Lili has come in. He didn't play one game last year, so that was the end of him. Loans, these guys are all youngsters. Gianpaolo Pizzini went for 2.5 million to Atalanta. Was again frustrating last year. Played actually a fair amount of games, 20 games overall. 3 goals, 4 assists from a striker isn't quite good enough. 6.64 rating, also not good enough. So he's been shipped out. A bit of a loss, I suppose, on his 10 million transfer dealing, but he's gone back to Atalanta, who is where I think he started off at. Yeah, it is. So good for him, but he wasn't good enough anymore for us. Robinho came back from his loan deal, but then we shipped him straight out to RC Lens for 2.5 million after his loan deal to Santos. He was on such high wages, and we just couldn't be having it. So we're actually having to, I think, pay him still 30 grand a week or something till his contract expires, which I think is only next year. But because he's only on 23 grand a week at Lens, but he's not good enough anymore. His physical stats have kind of completely demolished, and his technicals aren't great as well. So there was just never going to be a spot for him in the team, especially when you see the people I've brought in. Again, more loans. Alessandro Matri went for 1.5 million to Atalanta. Again, striker, sitting in the reserves last year, is on a fair chunk of change. He was on loan last year at Genoa. He did quite well, but there was no room for him. Again, there was just no room for him left, and he departed. A few of these guys, they're not going to please the fans, but I felt we had to do them. That they weren't worth the wage they were on, and they were all floating around in the under 21s. So I just demolished the under 21s. Really did Akubia went for 1 million to Bari in Serie A. They've got promoted. Again, another guy who's on loan, not good enough anymore, so we sold him on. Antonio Nocereno for 75k to Cagliari. Again, 30-year-old, just not good enough. Haching Mastor, probably the only notable loan signing to go out, 17 years old. We're giving him a year at Ternana in Serie B, see how he fares there. Hopefully he can do quite well. Gerson and Vergara for 3 million, who actually wasn't the worst player we got rid of. There was a teeny bit of potential in him, but at 21 years old to only be like that, I don't think is quite good enough. And for £3 million, I couldn't really reject that sort of money. Adil Rami left for 7.5 million, and this one was probably one of the more high-profile man. You'll see in a minute that we brought in a few defenders, and there was going to be no more space for Adil Rami, who didn't play an awful lot last year, only seven appearances, and we made profit on him, so I'm pretty glad by that. 7.5 million to Lazio, and the rest were all loans. All these guys, I think, are in the reserves. So as you can see, though, it's like there's around 100 people have gone out, an awful lot of people. But anyway, on the ins, a fair amount of people as well. We had to compensate for this. These first three guys, I'm not quite. This was all the co-ownership stuff, and I didn't really know how to approach it. But apparently, it's the team who I think bids the most. We got Simone Verdi for 600k. Empoli didn't quite stump up that sort of money, but he's not very good. Polly we managed to get, which I think was actually a decent enough signing. Only 1.5 million as well we had to pay. Solid enough central midfielder. And Stefano Gori, probably one I regret, but only 55k, 19-year-old keeper, not going to make it. Then we get into the four guys you guys already know about, who are pre-arranged. Samuel Umtiti, probably one of the best centre-backs, young centre-backs in the game. Unfortunately, around a day ago in game, he strained his knee ligaments and is out for 5 to 6 weeks, so he's not going to feature in the first month and a half or so of this season, which is disappointing. Andrei Yarmolenko came in. He's an absolute beast, 25.5 million his value. What we've done with Yarmolenko is we're going to keep up the tactic we ended last year with, but I found out that Yarmolenko is actually a really nifty complete wingback. So we're going to be using him there. Apart from his marking, everything is fantastic. 2.5-star player. It's happy days. So he's going to fill in at wingback. Nicola Liali is the backup keeper this year. He's got a bit of potential on, 22 years old. And Danny Ings from Burnley actually looks quite good. Going to be probably rotation based on the whole, but nonetheless, still looks good. You know, only 33 grand a week as well. I had a good season last year for Burnley. I've been through those four guys though. So then the next five guys are guys I brought in the transfer window, and probably the biggest one, I think the biggest one in terms of actual fee, yes, was Rakaro Zivkovic from Ajax for 11.25 million. It's an awful lot of money, considering he is an 18-year-old striker, but he becomes one of the best strikers in the game, no doubt. He just always does. I haven't seen him ever turn into a flop. He's got speed, he's got good technical stats, got good mental attributes. He's just an all-round player. He did pick up a bit of an injury in pre-season. It was a 3-week twisted ankle, but he's back today, and he's going to start today. So I'm going to give him games. Like him and Danny Ings are probably going to rotate alongside the other guy I've brought in on loan, who's going to be probably more of the main striker. Although, as you can see here, there's a little bit more of a trend of younger guys coming in and a new, fresh approach. Next man in is, this is going to be a mouthful, Timothy Kolodziejczak, who's going to be just our backup left back. Because Pablo Armero, of course, has left. His loan deal expired and we didn't renew it. Yarmolenko is going to be our first choice left complete wing back. We've got some sort of backup for him, and this guy fits the bill nicely. He's just a decent enough player. Brought him in for 4.2 million. Was it a little much? It might have been. But look at this. He signed. I don't understand this. He signed for Nice for 25 point. No, so he signed for Nice on a free, and then he signed for them for 25.5 million. So I don't know where that came from. That might be a glitch of some sort. Then he signed for Sevilla for 3.4, and we snapped him up for 4.2 million. I think 4.2 million, and also only 12 grand on the wages. I think it's well worth the backup stature he is, and he's quite a good player, to be fair to the guy. And next man in was the new, I think, main striker for the club, really. Of course, Al Shawari leaving isn't ideal, although for 46 million it probably is. So we brought in Angelo Enriquez on loan from Manchester United. Now, this guy in, I think, Football Manager 2013, and even last year, you could pick him up on loan from Man United, and he would be an absolute beast for you. And he's no different this year. Like, he's a fantastic looking striker. He's banged them in pre-season, 6 goals in 3 appearances. So fantastic stuff in pre-season. But I suppose you can't look too much into that. But he's just a proven goal scorer at a few clubs he's gone on loan from Man U at, and hopefully he can make a step up to the Serie A this year and start banging in goals up front for us and be our main man up top that we can rely on. Next man in, the second priciest transfer was Roman Neusteider. I've picked a few guys with fairly complicated names. Roman Neusteider comes from Schalke, or Gelsenkirchen in this game. Gelsenkirchen, though, got relegated first year. Don't know what the hell happened. They went down in the relegation playoffs. So we could pick up Neusteider for 9.75 million, which for his standards is an absolute steal. He's a defensive midfielder, can also play in centre mid. Now he's going to be playing in the ball-winning midfielder this year, and Nigel de Jong, I think, is going to push up into a bit more of a box-to-box. Because, of course, Van Ginkel's left as well, so on loan. Like, all those loan guys have left. So that meant we were a little thin on midfielders, so Neusteider is the new man in. Only 46 grand a week as well, which I didn't think was too bad for a player of his calibre. He's just a rock-solid defensive player. Could probably play in centre-back if we trained him up, but I think... don't think we need to be doing that. Like, as you can see, he's competent even in playing at centre-back. Ball-playing defender, looks a good player, but I think only if we really needed to, he'd have to fill in there. And then the last one for 6 million was a wonder kid, Marlon from Fluminense. It's a centre back, giving us that back. This was the real reason why Rami left, because this guy's going to fill in as being our 4th or 5th best centre back this year. Although his current ability is a leading player from most Serie A sides, and he could still become better. He's just an absolute class looking centre back. He's just got all the attributes to become one of the best in the world, and I've no reasoning to think that he won't. He's just a class looking centre back. I can't wait to use him in games and get really stuck in to using him. Anyway, I think that's it for the transfers. That is it for now, and I think that's probably going to be it. There might be an out or two. I don't think there'll be any more ins unless something really springs to mind, because there's only 5 days left in the transfer window. So, pre-season wise, we had a decent enough pre-season. We beat the under-18s 5-2. We beat Malsatone 7-1. We beat Volendam 5-0. We beat Fortuna Sittard 3-2. Genham Widden 2-1. Lost 2-1 to Juventus, which was disappointing, but beat Salzburg 4-1. Got Bologna today, of course. Anyway, a look at probably the team we're going to start off this year with. I'm going to go through it. We've got Diego Lopez is still going to be our starting keeper. He had a very good year last year, 33 years old now, but nonetheless still a good keeper. Hopefully he can still do a shift for us. Today Yarmolenko is the complete wing back on the left. Desciglio is on the right. Now Desciglio is a little bit unhappy though, because he wants to leave. There's a lot of bids being chucked in for him, but not at the value I really want them to be at. Like, they're only offering like his value, which I rarely sell players unless like they're aging or something for their value. I usually look to get more, and he was so good last year that I really didn't want to lose him. So I've kept on for now, and hopefully he'll stay. We've got Alex, who's of course good last year, 33 years old though, so we'll be looking to kind of blend him out of the squad and blend Marlon in. Munoz and Umtiti, of course. Munoz, who only really featured at the back end of last year, but he's a very good centre back, and showed that in the back end of last year where he strung together some very decent performances. And Christian Sabata, another oldish, no, not really old, but 28 years old. So he's going to add experience, there, and also just give a little bit of a helping hand for Marlon and TT. New strider, as I said, in the ball winning midfielder role, Nigel de Jong's the box to box. You just can't leave Nigel de Jong out of the team at the moment because he's still such a good player. And still, is he our best central midfielder? Yes, he is, alongside New Strider. So those are our two best centre midfielders, so that's why they're playing there. Bonaventura still in the trequartista role. He really excelled in that position right at the back end of last year, and hopefully he'll just have a whole season of playing there and do decent enough. Zivkovic as the deep line forward and Enriquez up front. So I think that's what we're going to go for. We're going to start off this year playing for AC Milan, and hopefully it'll be a goodie. I really hope we can start off the season well. We ended last season well, so I'm hoping we can kind of bring that form into this year. They're expecting us, as I said, they're not expecting us to do well in the Europa League, but they're expecting us to mount a bit of a title challenge in the Serie A even. So they're expecting us to really be very competitive in the Serie A, which I'm not sure. Do we have the capability of doing so? Hopefully we do. I really hope some of the new additions will help us along. The only thing I'd be a little bit concerned about right at the start here is we do have a lot of new signings. Like here's Manoz, Desciglio, come on, Zivkovic beats a man, finds Enriquez. It's a good block. Manoz, Desciglio now. Still possibly. No, it's a good tackle by Morleo. But it's a throw in for ourselves. But we've just paused it here and we go through the team. Like 1, 2, 3, 4 new signings in the starting 11 today. Plus, I think has Pizzini scores for Atalanta within 4 minutes. That just sums it all up, doesn't it? Here's Zuccolini though. Rizzo. I'm quite hoping though, like usually that. Oh no! Don't concede a penalty. Good man. Get rid. Yarmolenko now. Oh, that's a fantastic one. Enriquez could be through again. That's a sending off. Mayata, he's got to go for that. Referee, he has got to go. And I think he will be. He should be. And he has. Yeah, so 8 minutes in, and Mayata has gotten sent off for Bologna. So that should be a very good start for ourselves. But I'm hoping because there's actually, like, based on today's performance, or today's starting lineup, 5 of the back 6, like if you're including the keeper alongside the back 5 of defenders, are from last year. So usually you only find really poor team cohesion if you have like a completely fresh back 4. That's what I always really. That's what I think. Like it takes a lot of time for a back 4 to gel. So that's why I'll be kind of gently easing in the 2 new centre backs. But of course, with Umtiti out for 6 weeks, he's not going to be blending in for quite a while now, unfortunately, which is disappointing because he's such a good player. As you can see here, we're absolutely dominating this game without actually really creating too much. With the man advantage, we really should be looking to try and get a goal up before half-time. Here's Nigel de Jong, finds Zivkovic. What can he do? He finds Desciglio. Back to de Jong now. Back to Desciglio. Can maybe run down this right-hand side. Maybe cut a ball inside here. He finds de Jong. Bonaventura with a chance, and it's a good save. Zivkovic on his debut. The 18-year-old gets his first goal of the season. What a good start for ourselves. And for Zivkovic, I really want him to be good this year. Paid a lot of money for him, considering he's only 18 years old. But I know he has the potential in him. I know he has the ability in him. But he needs to just put that ability into goal scoring. And go for us. I'm gonna tell the guys to guard their complacency because we haven't played overly well today. We haven't played too badly either because we're absolutely dominating them. But I feel like with the man advantage we have, that we should be really trying to put Bologna to the sword in this second half and win the game at least 2 or 3-0. Now, if we pick up any win, a win's a win. 3 points are 3 points. But I'd like to make an early statement with this new team to the rest of the division, saying that we are really here for business this year. Maybe I don't know whether Inter are going to put up much more of a challenge this year. I'm not sure. Have they strengthened their team in the necessary areas? Going to take off Enriquez on debut and bring on Danny Ings for him, and we're also going to bring on Kazuki Honda for Nigel De Jong, who's also just struggling a little bit through fatigue. First game of the season back, and suppose there are going to be tired legs. This is the first competitive game for over 3 months or so. So is Bonaventura Manoz? No, it's headed away. Here's Kazuki Honda now. He's got a good long shot in him, but here's Bonaventura. Good ball to Zivkovic, and it's gone in. Zivkovic has got his second of the game. It's a pretty shocking bit of keeping by Mazzoleni. Not his finest hour, but it really is a finest hour for Zivkovic. Bonaventura again feeding him through. And that is a woeful bit of keeping. I'd be extremely annoyed if that was done by Diego Lopez. But I think Diego Lopez is too good to make a mistake like that, I have to say. He's captain today. He's not the club captain because the club captain is Montalivo, but he's not going to be. I really don't think Montalivo is going to play many games this year. So therefore, I do think Diego Lopez is really going to be our captain. We're going to give Marlon a go for just 15 minutes, bringing him on for Alex, who's struggling with fatigue, plus the fact that I'd like to give Marlon his debut in the first game of the season, because he did sign, I think, on a rotation deal, so he will be expecting games, and I'm prepared to give him games, because he looks a good player, but still, he's got to do it when he gets brought on, when he gets given a nod, which he will in certain games, and especially with the Europa League this year. Hopefully there won't be as many kind of issues because people will be able to spread out in terms of people who aren't getting a run in the league will probably play a few of the Europa League games, so hopefully it will kind of even itself out. As you can see today, 2-0 was actually a little bit nice on Bologna, who only had 4 shots in the whole game and had 0 on target compared to our 38 shots. We only converted 2. I don't think that's worrying. Obviously, I would have liked to have converted a few more, but nonetheless, a very good start to the season and an extremely positive start for that of the 18-year-old Ricciardo Zivkovic. I'm really hoping can be our saviour this year and be the man who leads this club to glory. At such a young age, I think he's got every possibility of doing so. Anyway, next episode will be the Napoli game. So that's in around a month's time. We've got 2 Serie A games and a Europa League game between then and now. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a like. Comment down below who do you think will be our most successful signing this year. I'm hoping it will be Zivkovic. I think it could well though end up being somebody like Yarmolenko, who's going to make a bit of a difference on that left wing back role. And subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. I'll see you guys later.